As we continue with the soft skills exercise, in front of you is a list of 54 soft skills. What I would like for you to do in this two-part exercise is put a line underneath of all of those things that you do extremely well. So you will see things like focus and boldness, creativity, common sense, leadership, communication skills, presentation skills, whatever it may be. Please put a line underneath every one of those soft skills that most resonate with you. And these could be positive things that people have said about you, the way that you think about yourself. But please highlight those, and we will also have in the part 2 of this exercise is to put a circle around all of those areas of opportunity. These are things that perhaps you could improve upon. These could be barriers preventing you from going from good to great. These could be issues and challenges that perhaps even others have said about you in your past, who have shaped who you are today. And a couple of takeaways from this exercise. Number one, so I was doing a training with another client going through the exact same exercise, and he listed friendliness as his go-to. This is something that he does well, a very friendly person. He worked with a local city municipality here in San Diego area, and when we were going through this body of information, there were 3 women sitting at another table, and they said, he is friendly, that is right, but they think, this is their comments, quote unquote, he's a little bit too friendly. And so they began to say or share with me that when women actually walk into the place of business and they interact with this particular gentleman, he would do something like this. Hey darling, how can I help you? And the ladies in his organization would literally cringe. They could not believe that he would say such a thing, especially in today's time. And to add insult to injury, if these women would have to see him for a second time, he would say, you here to see me again, huh, darling? Imagine how the women in his organization would feel. So the point here is that it's great that these items are your go-tos, as the exercise suggests. But we want to make sure that these go-tos, the things that we can land our hat on, they're not overused, perhaps an overused skill, because sometimes we can compensate versus the other side. And the flip side of that coin is, I was working with another client here in the San Diego area, and she listed communications as an area of opportunity, things that she would like to improve upon. And so she began to share with me that she made a New Year's resolution. And that resolution was to reach out and communicate to all of her customers throughout the San Diego and the Southern California area. And then she began to describe her day to me on the things that would get in the way of her accomplishing this particular goal. And so she continued to share with me that she would have her sales meetings and she would interact with other people within her organization, but when it came time to making those outbound telephone calls, she would freeze. And then fast forward, it would be 3 o'clock in the course of her day, and she's thinking that no one wants to hear what she has to say, so she puts it off for the following day. So as we continue to go around the room with this particular exercise, I went back to her to ask her to share with me again, help me understand, why aren't you making these phone calls? And she said, duh, Richard, I just told you. Well, that did not rest with me. So I continued to push a little bit further, and she began to share with me, well actually with the entire organization, her story. And this is her story. She said one day when she was 12 years old, she was hanging out with her father. And they were hanging out at this local restaurant. And he met another gentleman in this particular restaurant, and they were engulfed into a conversation, and it generated a level of interest with her. So she began to share her opinion with her dad and the gentleman. She said that her dad looked at her in the eye, grabbed her by the arm, and said, listen, young lady, no one wants to hear what you have to say. Just shut up. This happened, ladies and gentlemen, when she was 12. She is now age 60, and she still thinks that no one wants to hear what she has to say. This is the reason that we go through this particular exercise, because if you are walking around with issues and challenges, or more important, labels that other people gave you, and it's preventing you from accomplishing your goals, I encourage you to drop that backpack, drop that label, and focus on the things that you're doing well and continue to improve on those areas of opportunity. So if someone gave you a label, I'm asking you to drop it. But if it's something that you really believe that you need to improve upon, then that's a great thing. You can always work towards that. And we can help you in this particular training. But again, if you're carrying around labels that others have gave you, someone of influence, it can impede you and impact your ability to be successful in the business of sales. Now, I know that we talked about a lot as it pertains to interpersonal skills and soft skills. Let's pause for a moment. I would like to give you an opportunity to reflect and really think about this particular exercise and work through it slowly and very cautiously. Done correctly, you will find gold nuggets that will help you and that will propel you, that will allow you to be successful in the business of sales as well as your personal life. Thank you.